Life can be challenging, especially when we feel like we're not able to get what we need or what we want, or we get a lot of what we don't want, a lot of what we don't need. Have you ever felt this way? Stuck, anxious, depressed, powerless, like the world was against you? Well, if you have, what helped you move from that place? How were you able to see your position differently enough to take a step in a new direction? Since the beginning of the year, with all that's happening in our country and, yeah, in the world, I have felt powerless. Powerless to make a difference, powerless to change the story, powerless in a world that feels quite overpowering. And one day, sitting with this reality, sitting with God in prayer, pouring out my fear and my worry and my anxiety, love met me and reminded me that the news won't save me. Watching cute cat videos won't save me. But community will. So turning from the powerlessness of the news cycle, I sent a note to my friends far and wide, inviting them to my house to gather and share what we are doing in this moment that is just, that is life-giving. And friends, God's love and a bit of reframing, it's made all the difference. How many of you have heard of the practice of reframing? To reframe is understood simply as placing something in a new frame. When we change our point of view on any given situation, the facts remain the same, but there's a deliberate shift in how we see it. Sometimes the shift is a single word, right? A shift from seeing things as a challenge to seeing them as opportunity. A shift from feeling burdened by regret to feeling free and grateful. Yesterday, I saw an old meme that reminded me of this. It invited the reader to reframe "I'm sorry" with "thank you." Like this. Try shifting "I'm sorry I'm late" to "thank you for waiting for me." Or "sorry to ask you for another favor" to "thank you for helping me out." Or "sorry for being so emotional" to "thank you for loving me." Or "sorry that I've been so distant" to "thank you for being understanding." Just a simple change of words, a simple reframing can make a world of difference. Now, reframing invites us to see something in a new way, in a context that allows us to recognize and appreciate positive aspects of our situation. Reframing helps us to use whatever life hands us as opportunities to be taken advantage of rather than problems to be avoided. Breakdowns, no matter what the source, illness, accident, losses, society, culture, the world, when we reframe our perspectives, they are transformed into new possibilities to experience life more fully and to become more whole. This shift, this reframing, is where we find Jesus this morning, and the disciples and the 10 lepers in today's lesson. And this deceptively simple lesson is the secret to a good life and the heart of our faith. In choosing to cry out, to ask for help instead of stay out of the way, unseen, unknown, unclean, the lepers call out for mercy and they're all made well. You see, their disease, their leprosy, made them ritually unclean, which meant they couldn't participate in community. And so these men stood on the outside of their community, feeling alone, abandoned, feeling desperate. And as Luke tells us, when these 10 men realize Jesus is coming near them, they call out to him, not simply for comfort or companionship or someone to listen to them, but instead asking if he would have mercy on them, if he would heal them. And Jesus does. All of them. As Luke tells it, when Jesus saw them, he said to them, "Go, show yourselves to the priests." And as they went, they were made clean. All of them. So full of healing, so full of possibilities, so full of hope. The lepers don't even think about turning back to thank Jesus. They aren't ungrateful. They're just focused on the outcome. Return to community, reconnect with life. Yeah, I'd do that too, wouldn't you? But then Luke continues. Then one of them, when he saw that he was healed, turned back. Praising God with a loud voice, he stretched himself on the ground at Jesus' feet and thanked him. Only one. Only one is drawn back toward Jesus, not away from him, by gratitude. And this one receives the fullness of what Jesus has to give. Yes, all 10 lepers were cured of their disabling disease. All 10 remained cured, whether they expressed their gratitude or not. After all, God gives freely without condition. That's what we call grace, right? Yeah. But for the one who returns to Jesus to express his gratitude, he receives a deeper healing, a hidden wholeness, a strength beyond what he has ever known. To him, Jesus says, "Go on your way. Your faith has made you complete, whole, saved." As it turns out, it all comes down to how we understand a single Greek word. Yes, a Greek word. That word, sozo, can be translated as made well, in the sense of being healed. It can also be translated as saved, in the sense of being brought through mortal danger. It can also be translated as made whole, as in the sense of being complete, made to be what we are meant to be all along. When reframed with this understanding of sozo, then we hear that the 10 were indeed made clean, but only one saved. 10 were made clean, but only one made whole. 10 were made clean, but only one recognized it, gave thanks, and in giving thanks became what God had intended all along. And that, I believe, is the secret to life in this trying moment. Reframing our situations, our lives, noticing grace, seeing goodness, paying attention to healing, stopping to take in blessing, and giving thanks for the ordinary and extraordinary graces of our life together. This is the secret to a good life, even when everything else is a mess. It's the heart of salvation, God's love, and our faith. Reframing our circumstances, noticing blessing, giving thanks can seem like such a small thing when the world is on fire, and yet it can make all the difference. I know this because I've seen it, I've lived it, I've experienced it. In the new parents and in those in hospice care, in the face of a child receiving an unexpected treat, as well as the expression of a distraught person recognizing the extraordinary care of a friend. Gratitude helps us reframe. It helps us find in our struggle a whisper of encouragement and hope. Gratitude, like faith, is not an inborn trait that some people have and others don't. We all have it in us to be thankful. Gratitude becomes easier as we practice it. And when we do, when we practice giving thanks, practice sharing our gratitude with others, when we reframe our lives through gratitude, we not only grow, but we find ourselves restored, complete, made whole, saved. When we do this for ourselves, we also create an environment in which others are able to reframe situations and circumstances, where they can find blessing in the chaos. We create an environment where salvation and wholeness are real. If our lives are changed by reframing through the practice of gratitude, through noticing and appreciating the blessings in our lives, I wonder in this moment, how are we doing? Are we able to practice gratitude in the midst of all the chaos? All the stuff that's keeping us anxious? All the ways in which we are despairing? Are we able to notice and name, even in the midst of all of that, things for which we are grateful, moments for which we are grateful? Are we able to share our gratitude with others in such a way that's healing, that makes us all a little more whole? You see, gratitude reframes and restores. It heals and completes. It saves and helps us be a little more than we've ever been. It's available to us in every single moment of our lives, in our health, or with those who are caring for us when we aren't well, and those who are near and far who have contributed to who we are and who we are becoming, in the fellowship we share in this community, and for the people and programs that make them possible, that give them life. When we risk reframing, when we risk noticing, we will find a blessing all around us. This morning, we're reminded that the secret to a resilient life, the secret at the heart of faith is this: we are made for gratitude. It completes us, it saves us, it transforms us, it makes us whole. The one who returned to give thanks knew that. Jesus knew that. We know that too. And it's in this unprecedented time in which we live that we need to remember that we all have the opportunity to reframe what seems to take away our lives, with the experience that God's love, God's grace, God's mercy are always extended, always offered for us, offering us hope and healing, wholeness and salvation, offering us the abundance of a reframed, reclaimed, restored life. And I don't know about you, but I need that now more than ever. Thanks be to God. Amen.